What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Garage Golf Simulator. This is Turbo Talon Golf. Today is Saturday the 31st of January 2026. So here's what's going on. Gary Golffe stopped into one of my live chats a week or so ago, and he said he hadn't really played any simulator golf in about 6 months. I believe that's what he said. I can't remember why he said he hadn't been playing, but I think one of the reasons he said was that he had been importing golf courses, creating golf courses for GS Pro, and that had been sucking up the majority of his time. This morning I was laying in bed doom scrolling, as I often do when I'm trying to muster up the wherewithal to get out of bed. And I thought, I wonder how many courses Gary has imported or built into GS Pro. And you can see on the screen here, it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. And I have sorted this to, I've filtered out stuff that I've played. So if we apply no filter, guys, we're talking about a couple of dozen courses here that Gary's done. Some of them he's done in conjunction with other people. It looks like he's been working with another gentleman named Neil McLaughlin, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. That's certainly not the US spelling of McLaughlin. But you've got NM Golf, Gary Golffe, Neil McLaughlin, lots of courses here. So without further ado, because sometimes I just get tired of playing league play and tournament play, let's filter out stuff that I've never played. Let's filter it to stuff I've never played, which eliminates a couple of them. And let's just start at the top. This first one's Ashby Decoy Golf Club. It's in Scunthorpe, Lincolnshire, United Kingdom. And this was a collaboration between Gary Golffe and Neil McLaughlin. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If we look here, we have a little bit of information about it. This course was founded in 1935, so it's quite old. Has developed into a superb 18-hole golf course. Let's give it a play. I went ahead and downloaded all of these beforehand. Let's play stroke play. Let's move to the white tees, 6,000 yard tees. Give me auto putt. Let's set to 8. Mulligans we're going to leave off, or I'll probably mulligan every shot. I like my soft greens. Let's leave it on normal. Let's not make it too terribly easy. Let's leave it at the course's normal elevation. I like my 11 stimp on the greens. Let's put calm wind. I'm not going to force realistic. Putting forgiveness is set to normal. I don't know a ton about this setting. Can you turn the gimmies to off? I thought this beta made it so you could turn the gimmies off. I stand corrected. I said that in a live stream yesterday. But let's give this course a look, because I don't think Gary would go to all of the time and effort to import this into GS Pro if it wasn't a good golf course. Okay, we got some sun rays in our face. It looks like we got a OB on the right, as well as some lateral hazard. Oh, Crushing It says you got to scroll down for zero gimmies. Do I have the balls to use zero gimmies? As much as I bitched about GS Pro not offering that option, I better fucking try it, hadn't I? Okay, we're still sorted to Golffe stuff. Ashby Decoy Golf Club play, match. Everything's good. Wrong one. Gimmies. No, it says putt out. Yeah, I'll putt out, but I'll tell you what, we'll put the green firmness to soft so that this doesn't get too out of control. And then we'll replay here. Guys, I hit about a dozen warm-up shots. It's cold, it's kind of cold in the simulator. You can see I'm wearing my man tights. Where's my thermometer? It's about 38 degrees in the simulator, which sounds 38 degrees Fahrenheit. It sounds really bad, but it isn't if you're moving. Now, if I was just sitting in here watching a movie or playing video games on the projector screen, it would probably be miserable. Other facts of note, Steve was talking in the chat last night about updating to the latest ProTee VX beta software, that it enabled it enabled dimple tracking, ball dimple tracking, period. And he said that might help with the artificial slice that I see in the simulator, but I do not see outside or on a TrackMan launch monitor at my local simulator up north of me here. I was already running the beta, and I still see the same thing. So I'm guessing I'm not guessing, I do come over the top. I just think it's a little bit too exaggerated with the ProTee VX. And that's all I've got of note. Crushing it. Thanks for telling me about where the zero gimmies were. These guys are already trying to schedule tee times for next week. It's supposed to be in the 50s here in Utah. Anyway, enough jibber jabber. You guys, we're playing the Yamaha Persimmon one wood as usual. When it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's bad. But you can see this is where the terminology "hit it off the screws" came from. These used to have screws that held an insert into the Persimmon. So you're not hitting directly off of wood. Even on these other woods, say the laminated woods, you're still hitting off a plastic insert. I don't know if clubs older than that, you were hitting physically off the wood. I can imagine maybe you were. But anyway, my nose is starting to run because it's cold in here. I need to get my blood flowing with a shitty banana slice drive here. Okay guys, we're at Ashby Decoy Golf Club. Gary Golffe birthed this into GS Pro. Thank you, Gary. That wasn't too bad of a shot there. You can see we were quite over the top though. 8 degrees over the top. 172 into the pin. Pretty gorgeous golf course here so far. I'm not usually a fan of courses where the fairways are lined with trees, but let's get up on the green and test out this putt out option. So that was our club. I'm still warming up. That was a little over the top and slappy. We were playing at Sun Hills Golf Course yesterday, over here by Hill Air Force Base, Utah. And the pilots were flying their jets, right? The course is not too far from the flight line. We had to stop every so often to plug my ears because those F-35s are so loud. All right, guys, so the first hole that we would have, This is the first hole I have ever played on 0 gimmies in GS Pro. I know I run my mouth a lot about this software, and if I miss this putt, it's because I'm an asshole. But they are making minor strides to make the software better. Happy Saturday morning. Let's see, it's 11:45 Mountain Standard. Ashby Decoy Golf Club. Gary, you've done a tremendous job here. This looks wonderful. I feel like I'm at this golf course. There's not a whole lot of dead space where I can see nothing. Good job, sir. I get it, we're only on the second hole, but this looks pretty good. And as usual, we're going to mix some shitty TikToks in with the golf. But let's play a few holes first. Number 2 is a 150-yard par 3. You can see we've got a bunker right up front. Let's just try to get a ball over to this green and get it to stick. We've got a little bit of a wind from right to left. That's going way left. I'll get warmed up, guys. Even when I am warmed up, it still may not do anything. We're putting out a rough. So this looks like deep rough, but it just says it's rough. I'm thankful for that, but at the same time, I think this would be technically qualify as deep rough. All right, here's a 12 or so foot putt, no gimmies. We really got to mind our P's and Q's here, and just like on the real golf course, we need to get close enough for a tap in, or we're just going to keep on racking up strokes. I wouldn't say that's a tap in. We'll try to make it. I actually kind of like this. Will I like it by the end of the round? I don't know. Stay tuned to find out. All right, so just like on the real golf course, you're going to put the ball in the hole. Don't be three-putting or you're going to start racking up bogeys. All right, so this is a pretty unique hole. I don't play a lot of golf courses here in Utah or outside where you've got a 90-degree dogleg. And what this means to me is you've got to get to the dogleg or you're going to be blocked out by the trees. So let's zoom out a little bit here. You can see we've got to get up to this dogleg here that's about 240 out, or you'll be blocked out from the green. It's cool if you can get down there. It's not that cool if you can't. So we don't really need to hit too terribly far to get down there. 220. Let's hit a 3-wood. I don't want to blast through the back of the fairway. So this course is forcing you to play it, which is kind of sweet. And guys, I did have the ProTee VX, the ready sound on, but it's literally a chick saying, ready, ready. And I know you can change it to your own format, but I just kind of wanted to get playing some golf. That, and it was annoying as shit. We should be fine. That was a pretty docile swing there. We are not fine. We're blocked out. So we've got to make some tough decisions here. Gary has put some colliders in here. If there was anywhere on the hole I would put colliders, it would certainly be right here where the dog leg was gonna kind of take a bite out of you for not getting through it. But I can choose to go to the right of the green or lay up. I'm just going to go over here about 180 yards out. And hopefully we don't hit any colliders. We're not going to hit anything on the left, hitting that toey. So that's unfortunate. This is a lateral hazard. You can see that we're a few yards away from the fairway. Gary, I don't know if that's how it is on the real course. I would assume so. That's kind of shitty. I don't like it. There's no reason to have a lateral hazard right there. But this course was built in 1935, so maybe golf was a lot more hardcore back then. And hopefully there's not lateral hazard back here. We're just going to keep on racking up strokes. Just because I don't like it, if it's true to how that golf course really plays in real life, kind of like Thanksgiving Point that I played the other day here in Utah, that's fine. That is an unfortunate double bogey. We'll be way more cognizant of this lateral hazard from here on out, because that bit us in the ass pretty good. We're 3 up after 3, which is pretty fucking lame golf, to be honest with you, especially in the simulator. I should be, with my outdoor handicap in real life, I should be chilling at about even, especially sub 6,000 yard tees with soft greens. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, right? It is colder than normal in here. I need to get my blood flowing. Usually those toey shots hang right. Hopefully this isn't lateral hazard. Okay. Lateral hazard. Hazard right in the middle of the golf course. Ten-footer uphill. We're leaking pretty good from left to right. Nice. Saved par. Hopefully we can get rid of some of those bogeys, or at least get enough pars to wash them out of our memory. Guys, this could be bad. We got lateral on the left and OB on the right. OB is obviously, you're hitting off the tee again. And lateral, I believe, right, you usually got 3 options. Play it as it lies, flag line, or something else. That's not bad at all. This golf course is just beautiful. And I don't really have a computer to do it any justice, but I think we are running on ultra settings. What's up, sir? Welcome to the chat. Steve, how many burner accounts do you have on YouTube? We can't get there. This is a par 5. Let's just keep on crawling down the fairway. 3 wood. We're trying to keep these golf balls warm in our pocket here. We'll do a TikTok after this. Pretty classic turfy shot there. Hopefully that's not lateral hazard. All right, we're good. It's just calling it regular rough, which is pretty sweet. We're not going to get penalized as bad as normal. Okay. Hey, PTRR. Welcome to the chat. That's hanging right, and it's bad. We're playing zero gimmies today. This is one of Gary Golffe's courses that he has painstakingly brought into GS Pro. I got a 7-foot putt, playing 9 feet. Doesn't look like it's 9 feet, but it is 9 feet. Okay, Steve's got one for his PC and one for his mobile. Yeah, you already told me that. I'm telling you, dude, I got the attention span of a goldfish. Steve says he got his Starlink dish delivered today. I'm not tracking what that is. I mean, I know what those words mean individually, but what do you got? What does that do? So I've got a dedicated Wi-Fi network and router just for VR, for PC VR. It makes it so you can use your headset wirelessly. And for some reason, my phone randomly connects to this other network. And now I'm wondering what network all of my shit's connected to. All right, this PC is connected to the correct network. Stuff that you would check if you were a good YouTuber, whereas I just kind of hit go and we play it, you know, we play it by feel, by the seat of our pants. All right, now lonely screen's popping up. Let's vet this TikTok and make sure that it's worth a shit because some of them are bad. So this one's kind of funny for a reason probably other than what you might think. This is Bombshell Babe AZ, so maybe they're in Arizona. It's a couple of gals dressed like hookers. They're probably out at the club. It's not that that's important. Here's what's important. I'll read it to you. It says, you're not really friends unless one is a pretty brunette who takes things too far and one is a blonde who will cut your brake pads and laugh about it. Sure. Has anyone ever heard of cutting someone's brake pads? Fucking raise your hand if you've cut somebody's brake pads. What this gal really means is a blonde who will cut your brake lines and laugh about it. No one has ever in the history of the fucking world sabotaged somebody's brakes by cutting their brake pads. What she means is cutting their brake lines, thereby removing the ability to apply pressure with the brake pedal, and you probably getting some kind of wreck and die. Right? Not something you should do to somebody, but I thought it was funny because these bimbos think they're so fucking clever, but it's brake line, not brake pads. I mean, you can try to cut their brake pads, but you're going to have to find a lug wrench. You're going to have to jack the vehicle up. You're going to have to take the wheels off. Have fun cutting their brake pads. And God forbid they're not running rotors and pads. Say they're running drums and shoes. Good luck getting in there. Fucking dummies. All right, there you go. If you're not a gearhead, that won't mean anything to you. But to reiterate, you don't cut somebody's brake pads to sabotage their vehicle. You cut their brake lines. Let's rock and roll. Starlink internet by Elon Musk. Okay, I have heard of that. I'm going to have to do some research. So that first TikTok was just me making fun of somebody's vernacular because they don't know the difference between brake pads and brake lines. Easy pickings, easy target, maybe, but I'm not above it. And goddamn, it's cold in here. All right, 162 yards. We've got a little bit of a headwind. What's my 62-yard club here? That was very strange ball flight. That was way more offline than your typical over-the-top slappy shot, but I digress. Let's play some golf and not bitch about it too much. Despite what I say about GS Pro, those guys are making some strides to make things better in the software. They've got a long way to go, though. They've got a long way to go. All right, we went coast to coast. That is a cardinal sin of golf. We're working on it. We're working on it. And remember, we're playing 0 gimme circles, so I got a hole out every hole. A little leaker here. All right, Steve. Hey, don't do anything on my schedule. If you got shit to do, you got shit to do. Like, I got to change my wife's oil today. I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm going to do it because I love her. All right, guys. Some shit you'd pull on the golf course just went right above the hole. Now we've got a downhill putt. I'm kind of liking the no gimme circles. Yes, I'm shooting myself in the foot, and my score's actually looking a little more like it would on the real golf course than in the simulation. So I kind of think this is cool. Because when you guys are watching these broadcasts, you don't give a shit if I'm playing a tournament or a league. You just want to, I don't know what you want to do. See some shitty golf? So this fairway is super narrow, and then it opens up here. From what I can tell. It's got pretty bad contrast, but I think we can maybe maneuver a ball up there into this opening. Slight dogleg left. And since the ProTee VX is dimple tracking, I don't know if it uses a combination of dimple tracking and logo tracking, but I'm at least going to give it a fighting chance by putting the Titleist logo up. And by giving it a fighting chance, I also am given a fighting chance, right? And Joe Legowski said there was supposed to be some sort of indicator pop up on the screen when the ProTee was using AI to gonkulate versus using actual dimple tracking. And you can see that that golf ball in the spin video is bebopping around pretty good. I don't necessarily trust it. 1300 RPM a side spin. I can see some dudes up here. It looks like you got some cartoon characters up here on mowers, maybe greenskeepers or something. We'll see if we blow by them. I might enable the F5 function to come back over to them, but we're going to probably be pretty far past them. Does anyone else feel like this is the slowest round of golf in history? Let's go into free look mode and go back. I don't think I've seen anything like that in GS Pro before. So Gary Golffe's gone above and beyond, which I wouldn't expect any less out of him. Yeah, looks like we got a couple of greenskeepers here. Let's see who they are. Are they anybody we know? Do we know this guy? What up, gangsta? Do we know this dude? No, we don't know either of them. They look like they're made out of Play-Doh. All right. Nice touch. I like that. I haven't really seen much like that on GS Pro at all. So you can tell that Gary's putting a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into these courses, and I appreciate it. You guys make sure you don't go around cutting people's brake pads. They could get in an accident and get hurt. We wouldn't want that. What's going on, Chandler? Welcome to the chat. Chandler says he's interested to see what the golf course software has to offer later this year. I am too. I think a lot of people are waiting to see if it can fill a hole in our souls. All right, no gimmies. We got no gimmies, you guys. We got to putt out. So you're gonna see scores that I think are a little more in line with what's going on in real life. I'm actually sort of surprised that with this new GS Pro option, the SGT Tips Tour, maybe the Pro Tour, are not using zero gimmies. Like, you got to putt out. I realize that some people with certain launch monitors would have a real hard time if they had to putt out. So I get it. But I think the Tips Tour yesterday, when we were struggling through that round of golf, was like 4-foot gimmies. Guys, someday the slice in the simulator is better than others, but the ProTee is it's reporting that we're regularly developing about 1,500 RPM of side spin with this Persimmon. I was out on a golf course yesterday. You know what? Let's look at it. It's my fucking live stream. I'll do whatever I want. Let's go ahead and look at this. I talk a lot of smack, but let's go ahead and actually look at this. Here's my Garmin app. I use my Garmin S70 watch to track all of my rounds. You can see I shot a 94 yesterday, which is quite a few strokes above my handicap, but you only shoot your handicap about 25% of the time or lower. So if we go to view site shot maps, this drive off of number 1 wasn't great, but it was 216 yards to the left. Not a slice. 280 yards straight down the fairway, guys, and this is with this Persimmon. This is why I don't understand why the ProTee VX is penalizing me so badly. 280 yard drive with a fucking Persimmon from the 90s. That was a par 3. 280 yard drive down the left on number 4. Of course, I put the son of a bitch into some trees over here on my approach shot, which kind of fucked me. But you guys, I don't slice outside. Persimmon, G430, I don't know what it is with this launch monitor. I don't slice outside. What do we got here? 265 right into the fairway on number 5. That's a par 3. 257. I think that one did leak to the right on this dog leg. That was a toe ball off the 7-iron. 269. This one might have been a leak or two because it's over to the right. 270 yards. 226 yards into the shit there. That wasn't very good. Back 9 was kind of rough. 272 way to the left off of the 11th tee, but I was able to recover. 226, not a great drive, slightly off the left side of the fairway. That was another toe ball off the Persimmon. I felt bad for the club. Par 3. 265 into an adjacent fairway here with the Persimmon. But that was blocked. That was not a slice. That just went straight over to that other fairway. So I must have been aiming the wrong direction. 290 yards on this par 4 on 17. And then 235 on 18, but it was going straight up a hill. The reason I'm showing you this is because my shot off the tee looks nothing like it does in real life. It's kind of crazy. It's crazy to me that all I can do in here is banana slice. So there you have it. It'd be really nice if it quit, but I've even tried misaligning the launch monitor to make it go away, and it won't work. So it's just something that I've been aiming over to the left of the fairway, and that's what we're doing to kind of combat that. Number 8. We'll look at a TikTok after this. 28-foot putt uphill, leaking to the right. I actually care now because we got a putt out. There is no gimme. So kudos to GS Pro for that. how we doing? 5 over after 8 holes. That's way closer to what I shoot outside. All right, I owe you guys a shitty TikTok. And why do I preface with shitty? Because they're all shitty. TikTok content is shitty. It's shitty people saying shitty things. It's not a good cross-section of actual humanity. Morgan Fox, why do men? Morgan, why do men what? Let's find out. Okay, so I've screen captured this one not because of what it says, but because of a certain part of this that I think is funny. She says, how do I tell my newborn son that daddy couldn't commit to a family vehicle, so instead of a TV on the headrest, we have a Hemi V8 wide body platform, 20-inch gold school wheels? What's a gold school wheel? Gold exterior badges, green interior stitching, and unique wood like aluminum trimming. Sounds like some shit out of the fucking Wizard of Oz to me. I'm trying to picture this truck in my head. But what I thought was funny here is, why would she be telling her newborn son anything? He's not going to understand a goddamn word she's saying. He's a newborn. Is that a cheap, easy kill? Because this girl didn't proofread her shit before she hit send? Absolutely. You guys, if you're telling a newborn baby something, there's a good fucking chance it's not going to remember it or even understand what you're saying. So thank you, Morgan Fox. Not Megan Fox, Morgan Fox. All right, let's play some goddamn golf. 290, 230. You either got to hit over these trees or hit to where this starts to dogleg left at like the 220 mark. So we'll hit a 3-wood, and you can rest assured that it will slice. It will not slice, it will go left into the trees. So now we got some work to do. Can I get out? Can I cheat? No, I would have to go right through that gap. And you know what sounds kind of fun? Trying to punch right through that gap. 180 yards though. It's probably going to cost us a whole bunch of strokes, but I still think it would be kind of fun. So let's see if we can punch through here. It's just normal rough, but I got to keep the ball really low. Let's punch with a 1-iron. That is the lowest lofted club I have. You guys, this is going to be a shit show, but I think it'll be kind of funny. That actually kind of worked. I think we might have a shot to the green. We got the beryllium copper Ping I2s coming in the mail Monday. And I'm going to get the tarnish off of them and shine them up. We're hitting out of the rough. I'm sure we're going to hit this tree. Oh yeah, we careened off a collider. Good job with the colliders, Gary. Good job, buddy. He's wearing his man tights. Ooh, can we make the putt? Because we really shit the bed here. Nah, this is for bogey. I mean, we can still make the putt, but it's going to be a bogey. I think we got this. 5-footer. This score looks a lot more like a really pretty decent round outside. Because according to me and my math, you're going to shoot about 10 to 15 strokes better in the simulator than you do outside. And part of that is because you've always got a perfect lie in the simulator, and part of it is because of gimme circles. We're probably dead, depending on where that goes. Maybe we can punch. But like I showed you guys in my Garmin data 10 or 15 minutes ago, I don't really hit shots like that in real life. Can we get out of here? 200 yards. Let's spank the shit out of this ball here. It didn't really work out, did it? We had an open club face. We took a lot of turf. And like I said in a video I did, I don't know, a day or two ago, I was trying something I saw Tropicana Golf. That's another YouTube golfer. He was saying how to hit fairway woods. And he said to use he said to put the ball more in the back of your stance for fairway woods, which I had never heard before that. All right, we got a pretty hellacious putt here. Let's just aim over here and let it leak back to the hole. I don't know, 33 feet. Go low. This looks a lot more like a normal round of golf for me. I'm kind of digging the gimmies. Okay, we're playing a pretty significant slice. Let's just roll with it instead of trying to ignore it. Yeah, she just goes and goes and goes, guys. Bounce left. All right, we're blocked out again. This is going to be a pretty rough hole, I think, for the scorecard. I don't even have an option here but to bail. We got to bail. Let's punch out there with like a 6-iron. Not the distance I was looking for there, but at least we got something into the green now. This is a par 5. 178 out of the semi-rough, so I don't even know if that's going to give a penalty at all. Oh, come on, fade back. That's going right for that bunker. Okay, that happens every time you're near a bunker. The ball looks like it's going to bounce and then it hits some kind of weird thing. I haven't figured it out yet, but I've seen it happen in a lot of videos. Hey Foof, haven't seen you in a while. Hope everything's well. I'm really enjoying the course. He's done a really good job here. It's very immersive. And I'm playing zero gimmies because GS Pro lets you do that now, which is pretty sweet. How have you been? Little leaker, 10-foot leaker. Oh no, man, don't feel any obligation to come into my live streams, man. I appreciate when you're here. You're a wealth of golf knowledge. All right, guys, we got no gimme circles, so this is going to look a hell of a lot more like a normal round of golf. Bogey on a par 5. We had a bad drive. Foof says he's getting back into bowling and relearning it. Shit, dude, I never learned how to play it. I just threw the son of a bitch down the lane. He says he's switching to two-handed. Do you mean, and I'm asking this in all seriousness, like a two-handed like this? Or like, I don't know much about bowling, if I'm being honest. 160 yards to the pin. My grandparents used to bowl a lot over here in Ogden City, Utah, but they're a little too old now. Ben Lomond Lanes, I think it's still there even. That felt thin. We'll see where we land. You'd be pretty happy with that shot in real life. Get her over there for a 2-putt par. Two-handed like Kyle Troop or Jason Belmont. Is it Belmont or Belmonte? I know you can't say anything to me. Oh, okay, I gotcha. That dude looks serious as hell, like he's gonna kick your ass. Okay, I gotcha. So I wouldn't even have known that was legal, to be honest. That's pretty cool. He's got his own logo on his shirt. That's so that must be kind of a signature move. Okay, guys, we were way below the hole on the last putt. This is similar distance, and it's very leaky. So let's try to hit a little 28-footer. That's pretty cool. You could probably get a ton of spin on the bowling ball like that. Drain toward the hole. Give me a birdie. Okay, guys, no gimmies. We still got a putt. So Belmonte is the correct pronunciation. He's Australian, it said. Guys, I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm having a good day. Maybe I woke up on the correct side of the bed, but I'm really enjoying this Gary's course here with zero gimmies. It just feels like real golf. Kind of enjoying this. We're due for a TikTok. Let's see what this gal has to say. Guys, this is one of those TikToks that I shouldn't show, but I'm gonna. If only for like a cautionary tale. This gal's name is Mia. Normal looking little blonde girl, got the obligatory little fucking nose piercing going. Guys, gals, don't put shit like this on TikTok. It's disgusting. This girl says, turns out I wasn't in a bad mood. I just needed my head off the side of the bed and to drink baby gravy. Why, as a young woman, would you put something like this on fucking TikTok? It just makes you look like a fucking whore. Don't do this, please. No self-respecting woman should put shit like that on TikTok. It's disgusting. If that's something you do behind closed doors with your boyfriend or husband, fucking awesome. Don't say shit like that on TikTok. It's fucking gross. And our next TikTok is just dumb, so we might do two. All right, number 13 at Ashby Decoy Golf Club is a 506-yard par 5, so I wouldn't say an insanely long par 5. And we are nursing a massive slice, so we're just going to aim somewhere out here in the ether. Jason Belmonte has popularized the two-handed throw, but it's been around for a long time. He's had a ton of success, so every year more and more people go two-handed. I would imagine you could create a ton of side spin. Plus it makes the ball feel lighter. You throw a 14-pounder. I do know a little bit about bowling, and a 14-pound ball is not easy to maneuver. And then Foof says people crave validation. Yes, I agree, but that's very unfortunate that lovely young blonde girl is saying shit like that on TikTok. It'll never go away. Like, her mother and father could find that if they so chose. And Foof says Jason Belmonte is Australian. What was I going to tell you? I got a set of beryllium copper ping I2s coming in the mail. I probably overpaid for them, but I don't care. They look like they're in good shape. It's 1 through pitching wedge and they're black dot. I saw them on eBay. I couldn't resist. And I know you play a set of beryllium coppers, so I love these steel I2s. They're not going anywhere. They're going to stay in the garage, but I had to have that set of iconic irons. So they'll be here in a few days. Foof, I needed your validation, so I bought some beryllium copper irons. Now, what's your take on them? Do you leave them all patinaed out, or do you polish them up and make them look like brand new pennies? What's your viewpoint on that? Guys, the slice is fucking on fire today. The ProTee is way too unforgiving with side spin. Let's see here. About got fucked up there, boys. Are we on an adjacent fairway? Foof says they were polished a bit when I got them, but they look good with patina. Okay. I was hoping you would agree with me. Jesus, dude, we went 100 yards. I kind of want to polish them up like mirror finish. And I know some people are like, don't do that, but I kind of want to do it anyway. It's feast or famine, ladies and gentlemen. But nobody's here for the golf. I don't even play this bad in real life. Well, sometimes I do. So let's punch out of here. Okay, so Gary did put some deep rough in here. Right into the bunker. All right. Punch shots don't get very far off the ground, so if there's an obstacle in front of you, there is some chance that you're going to land in it. Foof says you can polish them if you want. Copper does benefit from patina, though. The Statue of Liberty wasn't always green. Yes. I actually didn't know that until I was a young adult. That's crazy. We had a 32-degree launch angle. That should have been 10 yards of carry, and it ended up being 1 yard of carry. Is what it is, right? And then that was terrible. And we still got a putt. No, we got no gimme circle. We're putting all the way out. 25-footer. This is for double. So we're probably getting out of here with a quad, triple or a quad. This is looking a lot more like my normal golf game. LOL. Oh shit, dude. That rolled right over the edge of the hole. Guys, we might go like 5 over on this. Holy fuck, that was terrible. I haven't taken a +4 on the real golf course since like the spring. That's pretty crazy. All right, what do we got in the chat? Guys, we're not able to get off the tee. It's really unfortunate to not be able to hit like I do outside. I just can't figure out what this launch monitor needs me to do. So I'm just going to keep aiming over to the left. And you can keep watching these lovely banana slices that do not occur in real life. So that's showing 1800 RPM a side spin. 138 into the pin. Why don't I have a mini map? Where is the old mini map? Did I click on something? Did I expand it? There it is. Hello, mini-map. Good to meet you. So we want to hit about 130 here. Willie says, Willie, welcome to the chat. Some of these guys don't miss putt. Doesn't matter if it's from 30 or 12. Everything goes in for them. I'm guessing you're talking about like the JT Walshes of the world and the Joe Legowskis and the fucking those guys. Bandsager. Yeah, I don't know. I certainly haven't figured out how to putt in the simulator. And Foof says, is that a McGregor Persimmon? Yes, sir, it is. I guess you haven't been in one of my live streams since I bought it, but it is a McGregor Persimmon. That is headed right and probably bound for the bunker. No go. I found it for $100 on eBay and it was basically perfect, untouched almost. The grip was dry rotted as shit, but that was about it. That was a... Don't do that too much either. The dreaded double chip doesn't happen too much outside either. Foof says they must be paying Bob Rotella to be their sports psychologist or something. Foof, dude, you're a wealth of knowledge. I don't know who Bob Rotella is. Can you explain it like I'm 5 years old? I don't know who that is. Is he somebody who teaches like putting psychology or something? Is putting psychology a real thing? 12-foot putt here, guys. If you thought it was hard to read greens outside, try doing it on a two-dimensional screen. And that's even with these little beads to tell you where the putt's going. All right, that hole was another shit stain in my underwear. Willie, are you saying they go into the gimme circle every time? Or are you talking about like these dudes are sinking putts from 30 feet? Because that in itself is kind of impressive. Bob Rotella is a sports psychologist that made books like Golf is Not a Game of Perfect and Putting Out of Your Mind. Classic books. I haven't gotten into any of his stuff. I have some books from Ben Hogan. And I got an audio book from some dude who talks about the psychology of golf. Can't remember its name. Now, if I could just not slice the ball in here, that would be fucking awesome sauce. That was almost dead straight, dude. I can see a little bit of a transition here between the semi and the rough. It almost looks like a yard marker on a football field. I would imagine building a course in GS Pro is not easy, so I'm just trying to point these little things out, but Willie says the guys that finish at the top miss 0 putts. Dude, it's frustrating for me too, I promise. Foof says he's got Putting Out of Your Mind on his iPhone and he listens to it in the car sometimes after he finishes a round. Yeah, I don't know. I don't practice putting enough to really consider my, like to not consider, but to expect to be any good at it. I don't have very many 3 putts in a round, but I'm also not the guy that's out there draining 25-foot putts. That is not your boy here. Get up there. Bounce up there. Of course it stopped. So on the real golf course, I would putt this off the fringe. I might regret it depending on how well the colliders have been done, but let's try it nonetheless. Excuse me. 17-footer. And we almost sank that, guys. Yeah, my buddies and I are not very good at pulling the pin, if I'm being honest. Somebody was saying in one of my live streams that you could pull the pin in GS Pro, but I don't know, I don't see a keyboard shortcut for it or nothing. Make the chat a little bit bigger here. And you can see a little bit less of my, well, I'm just up here now. You can only see it right here on me now. 137. Tell you what, let's do a TikTok. Let's see what shittery we have here. Guys, so we're not going to pay attention to anything this TikTok actually says. Capiche? Do you guys see this TikTok? Do you see it? The moral of this story is don't put a wall of fucking text in your TikToks. I'm not going to read this. Too long, didn't read, TLDR. That's it. We're not even going to look at what it actually says. Do not put a wall of text in your TikTok like that, for fuck's sake. TikTok's supposed to be somewhere where I can go and quickly scroll through things and become dumber. I don't want to read a wall of text in your TikTok. The cartoonist Scott Adams, who died recently, I read his book, and it says an important thing is affirmations. Like people who are doing things to get affirmations from others, or like me giving you an affirmation saying, hey, your outfit looks cool today, or whatever. Nice golf shoes. Having the right mindset's important with anything, not just golf. Yeah, and you're talking to a dude who's got a pretty bad attitude, generally has a pretty bad attitude. So I've been working on it. I've been reading self-help books and listening to audio tapes. Well, they're not audio tapes anymore. And then our next TikTok that I'll play after we're done with 18 is one of my favorite TikTok people. And by that I mean I can't fucking stand her. Come on, come on. That went super high, so it's probably going to be short. Get up there. Stay. Sit. Good dog. Okay, so we're talking about telling ourselves things. The power of positive thinking. I've read a couple of books and listened to a couple of audio books on that subject. I do believe it's important, but I also think that there are people out there who want to take the easy road, and if they just say shit like this, I will be a millionaire by 2027. Like, you're probably not going to be a millionaire by 2027 no matter how many times you say it to yourself. But you've also got to put the work in, right? Okay, come back. That was just smoked. I'd say it couldn't do any harm. It couldn't do any harm to talk to to have that inner dialogue, but people need to understand that you have to put in the work. So we're 14 over after 16 holes. I wouldn't mind having a round like this. What are you shooting at this point, like an 86? I'm fine with that. And we'd be doing a lot better if I could get off the tee, but that's not happening today, unfortunately. I've basically got to aim it over here to get the ball to go straight in GS Pro. So I guess if that's what I got to do, that's what I got to do. If that's what I got to do, God damn it, that's what I got to do. Okay, that's helping out with the slice a little bit. by closing my stance up pretty severely, almost aiming over here. And you can see we only had 941 RPM of backspin, but it still says we're coming over the top, which is fucking absurd to me. 160 into a slight headwind. Foof says he thinks it's part of the foundation that leads you to making better decisions to help you achieve that goal. I agree. Because if you think of the opposite effect, when people are always talking down to themselves, not necessarily self-deprecating, because I think a certain amount of self-deprecation is good. It shows humility. But when people are always talking down to themselves, you usually see those people don't achieve much. They talk themselves out of doing anything that would help them achieve their goals, etc., etc. I'm not really qualified to speak on the subject, but I don't think it can do any harm as long as you know you need to put the work in. And negative self-talk is just bad news all around. Okay, that's fading over a little. GS Pro knows where I like to hit because you can see we're in a bunker again. We're not going to get burnt in this bunker though. I'm going to make sure we get out. We're short-sighted though, so it's probably going to end up not great. That's about the best you're going to do out of that short-sighted conundrum there. And then we'll try to stay up on this putt, 14-footer. Just stay up, stay up. Foof, I would say that I would read his book, but I don't like to read, so I'd need the audio book. And I don't really have a lot of time between work and golf. Now, if I could incorporate an audio book into, like if I could listen to it while I was in here golfing, but then I couldn't live stream. When I used to do a lot of woodworking, I had a lot of time to listen to books. But I've kind of given that hobby up. All right, so let's close the stance up like really badly. That's what we got to do in the sim here. Another drop shot. I'm guessing we weren't green. Go green. See, I don't understand that. Is what it is. Let's see if we can get back over there. No use in crying over spilt milk. Let's hit a nice high lofted shot. We should be able to get over the trees, but we might hit the tip. We might just hit the tip. What's my club here? We are on the fairway, and we need to go 145, 150. Hey, Foof, I can't listen to anything in the car either. I drive a 1995 BMW that barely has a working radio, and a 1991 basically Mitsubishi Eclipse that the radio also sucks. So it'd have to be on my iPhone with my AirPods, but I'm not opposed to it. Nice high shot, but it's tailing over to the right. Gorgeous shot. Guys, sometimes I feel like this fucking launch monitor is just malaligned. I don't know. Like, I feel like something is fucking wrong. There's a little bit of forward lunge there. The shoulder came forward, right? but it's not coming over the top fucking 6 degrees. If you look at the replay, it's like the launch monitor just thinks I'm some kind of fucking over-the-top robot here. And it caused that shot to, that had 2,000 side spin. That's not the golf I play in real life. And it's not what the TrackMan shows at my local simulator where I meet up with my swing coach. So I got to figure something out. I've been bitching about this for like a year and a half. I got to figure something out, guys. Like if I got to turn the launch monitor a few degrees or something, but this is fucking absurd. I don't know. It just always thinks I'm over the top. I don't know. I know I got to finish this roundup, so I got to change Mama's oil on her car. 14 footer. That's, your buddies are probably going to talk shit about that putt. That was a pretty limp dick putt there. All right. If you subtract out the strokes we lost because I have a chronic slice in the simulator, this is a pretty decent round of golf. We had 0 gimmies. You can see that this says it's built by Neil McLaughlin, but it was in conjunction with Gary Golffe. I don't know why it doesn't say Gary's name there. 6,000 yard tees. We could look at the statistics, but I'm guessing they're just going to be pretty blasé. We had some rough holes here. I don't mind bogeys. Bogeys are going to happen, but triples and double pluses are not good. And then I'm losing about 30 yards or so on my drives compared to what I hit outside. My average drive outside is like 270 even with this Persimmon. So it kind of sucks. We'll keep on working toward a solution for the over-the-topness in the launch in the simulator, because there's a bunch of guys who have this launch monitor and they're consistently, it consistently shows them coming in to out. So I've got something malaligned here or something, because it doesn't matter. You guys have heard me bitch about this on many occasions. Hey, Willie, I recalibrated it before this round. That's the shitty part. I recalibrate it about every day. Foof, I would just listen to it through my AirPods. The speakers in those cars are almost 40 years old. They're dog shit. Foof, I did a range session on Friday. No, I did it on Thursday. I hit a large bucket of balls over here at the local driving range. They have the shot tracer cameras, and it doesn't do. When I was warming up, I was hitting some leakers, but as soon as I got warmed up, they were maybe 10, 15, 20 yards offline every so often. So I don't know what it is. I'm thinking of getting a hold of ProTee tech support and saying, hey, here's my range session. Here's how I hit outside in real life. Could you recommend maybe a few fixes? Because Flying Fat Kid, Garbage Garage Golf, Don't Give Up the Ship, there's a bunch of these guys that are running the ProTee VX launch monitors, and they're not having the problems I'm having. And I play outside so much. Like I said earlier, I brought up the shots from the Garmin app from my round yesterday. And aside of a couple of mishits, my drives are pretty much little baby fades down the fairway. So it's really frustrating because it hurts my scores in the simulator. But no matter what I do, it shows I'm coming over the top. It even shows I'm coming over the top with my putter. So I don't know what to do. I'm open to suggestion, but nothing I've done thus far has made any noticeable difference. other than malaligning the launch monitor, basically lying to it and telling it that the screen is in a different direction than it actually is. But if everything's properly aligned, it's just Slice City all day and all night, and I don't know what to do. All right, guys, let's look at this last TikTok, and then I got to change my wife's oil. It was one of the things I said I'd get done today. Willie, what's fucked up? That I paid $7,000 for this launch monitor and it doesn't fucking work? Yeah, Foof, I keep reading your message here. I don't hit like that outside. If you go back and look at some of the recent on-course video footage that I've posted, we got some leakers, but it's nothing like in here. Yeah. Willie, I'll get it fixed. Even if I gotta like misalign the launch monitor, I'll get it fixed. So guys, to close out the video, I can't fucking stand this woman. Her TikToks are always the same. You've seen me show a few of them. She's Renee, styled by Survival. And basically all she does is look into the camera with glassy eyes and bitch about her ex-husband or whoever, current husband, boyfriend, whatever. And she says the same shit. She says the same fucking shit, and I can't fucking stand this woman. She says, you gave up on our family. This man really thought I was going to make my kids live their childhood in fight or flight with their mama, kept in survival mode because of his chaos. It's always shit like this. She's always talking about how she was like scared to ask him for money for groceries, or scared to ask her husband or ex-husband or whatever it is for money for like school supplies and shit. And I get that bad things happen to good people, but Renee is fucking yucking this up real bad. And she's got a couple of burner accounts. This one's Renee Styled by Survival. She's got another one that's Renee something something something. But this lady needs to fucking move on, because you can tell all she's doing is posting this stuff in retrospect to get like clicks and likes. And I can't fucking stand her. It's not because she's a woman. It's not because she was a victim of a bad marriage and possibly an abusive husband. I just think that she needs to fucking move on. And I need to figure out what's wrong with my launch monitor and move on with a solution. Renee needs to fucking move on with her life. I don't know how long ago this stuff was happening to her. I don't know if it was 6 months, 8 months, or if it was 10 years ago. But her shit is always the same whining, fucking looking into the camera, all sad bullshit. And I don't know what it is, but I want to like, she makes me want to like choke a fucking puppy. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, guys. Renee needs to figure her life out and fucking turn the corner. So Willie, I know I said we were going to close out the video, but I have some questions. You have a Unicore IXO2. Did it require a ton of alignment? Did you have to like align it with lasers and fucking carpenter squares and shit? Or did you just hook it to the ceiling and calibrate it and it worked? Here's a follow-up question. Do your long irons and driver shots look like they do in real life in the simulator? Are you getting any weird slicing or hooking? Because I've been battling this shit for like a year and a half. So your stuff's pretty spot on compared to what it looks like in real life. I'm not going to make too big of a deal out of this because I do got to change Mama's oil, but if we go to the practice range, and I'll get Big Daddy out. No, let's hit with the Persimmon because that's what I'm playing right now, okay? And I'm outside and I tee up. Tee height's similar to what I use outside. I'll get my driver. I'll go to the back. I'll go to the back of the tee box, and I'll line it up just like this. I'll find a spot on the ground and I'll line it up just like this. So I've got my spot on the ground here, which is now a spot in the simulator. It's going to be this little piece of grass I drug in from outside. It's going to be, this is my spot. And I do hit a baby fade. I'm not going to say this shit's going to go straight. So what I'll do is do that. I'll take my grip. I'll spread my feet. And I do have a slightly closed stance. I do my spine tilt. And this is exactly how I am outside. Except I just touched the ball with my fucking waggle. Let's make sure we go green. Take my grip. I have my ball just inside my front foot. I have my spine tilt. My stance is slightly open, right? Slightly closed. And then I'll swing my club. This is exactly what I would do outside. That is not what my shit looks like outside, though. So you can see the launch monitor is saying we developed 2,500 RPM of backspin, and we were 8 fucking degrees over the top. Okay? So compare that fucking nasty banana slice that went 225 yards total to the stuff I showed you from my Garmin app earlier. It's not the same. It's so frustrating, dude. See, I play with a TrackMan in the simulator up here when I meet my coach for swing training. It doesn't even do this. It'll show me maybe 4 degrees over the top, but what the ball will do is start left of the target and come back almost to center. You can see on this one, we were 25 yards offline. Now, let's do a little experiment here, just in case you guys are trying to burn some time on a Saturday. I got my alignment board here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset my alignment board on purpose. I don't know if you can see that, but it's offset by a good 10 degrees. And then I'll recalibrate the launch monitor. You guys, this is so fucking frustrating for me. Device, calibration, calibrate world. Can you guys see that? Let's get out of this view. I'll make it bigger. Look at this calibration. You see how offline my board is? It's bad. And I'm doing it on purpose. So I hit calibrate world. And you can see now the launch monitor thinks the screen is that way. Which it is. But it's severely out of alignment compared to the hitting mat. And then I'll do some bullshit here because it's so far out of alignment that it's probably going to end up hurting me. We'll do that. Apply. Exit out of this. And let's hit another ball and see if that does anything. You guys, I don't have indoor swing syndrome. I line up the same way outside that I do in here. I have the same pre-shot routine. I have no reason to lie to you, but it is literally getting to the point where I'm thinking about getting a hold of ProTee tech support. So I'm going to use a little mark that's slightly to the left of the one I used earlier. I take my grip. I spread my stance. I'm slightly closed. I got my spine tilt. And I swing my club. Nope, nothing. That was 27 yards offline. Was it off the screws? It was off the screws. Guys, I don't know. I don't know what to do. It's pretty frustrating. So we've got our same alignment mark. I take my grip. I spread my stance. I'm slightly closed. Spine tilt. That's coming back to the center line. That one's not as bad. But let's see what the stats say. That was 6 degrees over the top. Foof says, do you adjust the other side too? I'm not sure what you're talking about, sir. You know what? Let's really fucking go ham on this. Let's go ham on this. Let's do this at like a 22-degree angle. I'll bring it up for you guys. Device, calibrate. Check this shit out. Calibrate world. It's going to be way off now. Like it's starting to make my hitting area really tiny because it's like, hey, what the fuck is going on here, dude? So we'll maximize the hitting area. Calibrate world. Oops, I already did that. Apply. Okay, so this thing's super out of calibration now. Let's tee up. Let me find a spot to hit to. Okay, it's going to be that piece of grass from before. We're green. I take my grip. Guys, I know this is fucking boring. You don't have to stay here if you don't want to. Slightly closed stance. Spine tilt. And I take my swing. Look at that shit. Yeah, the calibration is for, you guys can't see it, but there's camera 1 and 2, A and B. So the launch monitor now knows that I have fucked with it. So I don't know, guys. Let me try one more thing, though, while I have a captive audience. If you guys got other shit to do, obviously don't stay in here. Let's calibrate it the opposite direction. Let's turn the calibration board clockwise and recalibrate. It's starting to get on to us, though. It knows something's going on. Am I saying I have a perfect swing plane? Guys, I am not saying that. But let's go to Device, Calibrate System, Calibrate World. Now we have this thing turned the opposite direction. Let's just see what it does. You can see that the pickup area is getting smaller by the minute. Exit out of this. Let's put this back down here. Foof, I'm trying it the opposite direction now. My swing coach says it's okay if I have a slightly closed stance, but you don't want to get to where you're using it as a band-aid. So I'm going to hit between these two pieces of grass, and let's just see what happens. I take my grip. It's the same every time. I open my stance up, I get my spine tilt, and I'll hit my ball. If somebody knows what's going on here, I would really love to know. We did have a ProTee rep that was popping into the chat on occasion, but I haven't heard from him in a while. So what I'm going to do now is just calibrate it correctly. This is pretty comical. There's nothing I can do with the calibration board to fix this. Now, my ProTee VX is mounted on a 2x8. My ceilings are 20 feet high. That's too high to have the launch monitor mounted, but it's mounted right in the perfect zone according to the ProTee VX literature. I have not tried turning the launch monitor on above me. I've only tried malcalibrating it with the board here. So we'll recalibrate with the board. Where'd my mouse go? We'll pull it over here. Device, calibrate system, calibrate world. You'll see that this gets much larger now. We only need it about there and there. Apply. And now it's calibrated so that it thinks the screen is directly in front of me, which it is at a 90-degree angle adjacent. But now, because that's where it was originally, we know we're going to see another slice. Guys, look at this replay. This is absurd. No, Willie, everything is square. Like, I'm a carpenter slash woodworker. Everything is very square. But once I'm done changing my wife's oil, I might experiment with turning the launch monitor physically a degree or two. But anyway, guys, we're aiming for this piece of grass that we've been using the whole time as an alignment marker like I would on the real golf course. I take my grip, I spread my stance, I'm slightly open, spine tilt, and I swing my club. Little bit of a loopy-loop there, not too bad. But it looks nothing like my outdoor shot shape. There you have it. Now I've got this above. If you guys have time, it's only 1 p.m. my time, 1:15. I can reach up here with a golf club or something and slowly misalign the launch monitor on my garage door rails if you guys want to see if that does anything. But I'm sure you guys need to start getting on with your lives. This live stream's been 1 hour and 45 minutes long. I think what I'll do is just keep doing the live stream. If you guys got other shit to do, feel free to dip out of here. But I'm going to try turning the launch monitor itself a little bit. The problem with that, I think, is that the first time I calibrate it with the checkerboard, it's going to go right back to a stoichiometric mixture here. But I got nothing better to do. It's Saturday. I did a lot of my chores this morning. So let's see. I got an old piece of oak over here. Maybe I can reach up with that. I do have a ladder, though. And what way would I want to turn it? I'm not sure. There, it's just a smidge offline now. I don't know, guys. This is probably a exercise in futility, but my God, is it annoying. Yeah, Foof. I chased that issue with the lines being off in the view. I chased that issue for a while, because if you're like this, it is never ever going to think you're coming inside to out unless I was swinging like this for like the fucking east side of the garage. But I turned the launch monitor a smidge. I've got the marks lined so I can move it back to Stoich pretty easily. And what I want to see is just a little leaky fade. I don't want to see this banana slice. So here, I got my grip, got a little bit of spine tilt, slightly closed stance. I don't know if there's enough contrast for you guys to see it. That was still 19 yards offline. I don't hate it, but it's still showing that we're coming in 9 degrees over the top, which is simply not true. So we got 1500 RPM of backspin. Let's put the launch monitor back to normal on this side and then turn it a little bit on the other side. Okay. But like I said, the first time I align it, it's going to know something's going on. Or should I align it? You guys, there's so many different things I want to try. It just doesn't make a lick of sense. That's not a bad ball flight, but it's still way too leaky. What do we got here? 8 degrees over the top. So let's try something a little bit different. Let's actually calibrate it with the launch monitor physically turned, because it's actually showing us more over the top than it originally was. I did not intend to go off on this tangent, but let's have a little fun with it. Willie says we're here for it. Okay, so the launch monitor is slightly turned counterclockwise by, I'd say, about a degree. And we calibrated it to the checkerboard. Guys, I ain't saying I don't have an over-the-top swing. I would really like if my shot shape looked like it does outside, though. Of course, I leave my face open on occasion and hit a slice on the golf course. I'm not a professional, okay? Not saying I am. It's still pretty leaky. What did it say? It's like no matter what I do, it thinks I'm over the top. 10 degrees over the top, guys. I realize face to path and stuff plays into this. Let's hit the big dog and see what happens. I don't think there's any way to fix this. I thought with the better dimple tracking on the update it would be different, but it's just really, it's not. Let's use the G430. Hopefully you guys aren't seeing too much of my ass crack. Same with this club, same setup. Nice strong, slightly closed stance here. Spine tilt. That's just not my shot shape. I don't know, guys. Pretty frustrating. So it said we were 13 degrees over the top. So effectively what we've done here is made things worse by rotating the launch monitor. These lines on the screen are completely not perpendicular. They're not at 90-degree angles anymore. I think it made it worse. Foof, are you saying I need to like clean my cameras? Because I don't see anything on them. Guys, I can't get anything from rotating the launch monitor physically, and I can't get anything from changing the alignment with the board. So I don't know. Let's return this back to Stoich though. It knows you're moving it too. It's smart. Okay, are we still good on both sides? Yeah, we're good. When Foof says the more things change, the more they stay the same, he's basically saying, fix your golf swing, dummy. Let's just calibrate it for good measure. I got my Square Golf launch monitor here. Maybe I should start using that. Just lie to it. Keep your back to the target longer, God damn it. Willie says, why is the green laser on the club cam so far off? Dude, I don't know. You might could tell me. So we're basically going back to sort of normal here. It's kind of nice having some people in the chat to throw ideas at me, though. I won't lie about that. Foof says he's the worst person to ask for swing advice because he only drives 190. I ain't really worried about distance. I got that in spades. It's that I can't play the same golf in here that I play outside. That's kind of what's, I'd say, irking me the most. I've got to use a different stance in here. It's kind of annoying. That's not a bad ball flight. I don't know, guys. I simply do not know. Foof says he doesn't have much experience with sims. It's been a strange experience. Do you remember what launch monitor they were using when you were hitting your coppers? Oh yeah, Topgolf is a whole nother ball game, dude. I don't even know if I think they use the shot tracer camera. I don't know what's going on. It's not a big deal, but it can get frustrating at times. But I really should change Mama's oil because I said I'd do it this weekend. Same stance, same spine tilt, everything. That's just going straight left. Good shot though. I don't know, guys. Hopefully I didn't just shatter this brand new fucking shaft. That felt really heely. It's crazy that this thing is just like, there's a few things here that are kind of bothering me. Yeah, so Foof says he was using the TrackMan for it, the simulator. Did it basically have the same ball flight that you see outside? I realize we have gone way off topic here. 10.4 over the top on that one. I think when I'm watching Garbage Garage Golf, because he's got a ProTee VX, his shit is always this swing path. And it doesn't look like he's got a really open, closed stance. Like, dude, I don't fucking know. It's actually pandemonium. Just look at that thing go, dude. Look how much distance I'm losing. It's just this big, nasty, gross banana slice. All right, I think we've kind of beat this to a pulp. I do see some stuff I don't like in the replay camera, though. It's like something... Can you guys see this? Can you see the contrast here between... You can't really see it. Can you see the contrast between the edge of the hitting insert right here? You can see my tether for my tees. You can see that this is shaped like a pizza slice. It goes this way and gets larger as it goes. I don't think that's correct. You guys can chill. You guys can keep chilling here if you want. I think I'm going to try to line that up a little bit better so that it is perpendicular. Excuse me, parallel. So I don't know. Let's line this up perfectly with the hitting insert. And to do that, you got to pull the insert out. Throw it over here, and I gotta put this in here. The little checker mat. Excuse me, the checkerboard. You'll see it in a second. Oops. Come on, dummy. This tether. All right, let's see if that is aligned now with the actual hitting insert, because that's kind of weird. And we don't need to hit driver every time. I only got so many of those swings in me. This view's pretty despicable. So the pizza slice did get smaller, but now it's in a different direction. Let's move the ball up more to where the hitting insert ends and the hitting mat begins. Sort of makes you wonder. So it's smaller on this side than it is on this side, which would mean I would say that the ProTee is not exactly at a 90-degree angle or parallel to the mat. It would be perpendicular to this, parallel to that. So let's move it a smidge. You guys, I know this is probably boring as shit. So if I want that pizza slice to get a little smaller on that side, I don't know if I need to recalibrate. Let's move it up here. That's looking a little bit better, but I don't know. A little frustrating. All right, what do we got in the chat? I gotta get back to it here. Steve, I'm sorry I couldn't see the chat. We've been spent the last like 45 minutes just trying to get this thing aligned. Talking about the massive slice I have in the simulator versus outside, just shit like that. That's all, sir. That's all. There's nothing wrong with it that I'm aware of. I would like to get another unit in here for some side-by-side testing, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm basically just at this point, I'm of the opinion that it's still a little too like unforgiving when it comes to spin rates. But that's it. It's showing so much over the top, dude. 10 degrees over the top. I know I'm not coming into out, but this is fucking crazy. Just look at that fucking ball flight. There's already a bunch of balls over here. Oh, Foof, I have so many hobbies, buddy. I just took up knitting. Yeah, crushing it. I can't without like closing my stance a lot, like Jim Venetos style. I can't get my drives in here to look like they do outside. It just keeps on telling me I'm 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 degrees over the top. I don't know what it is. You guys, I don't see you guys having the same problems with your ProTees. It's like nothing I can do fixes it. And it doesn't do it with the TrackMan launch monitor, and it doesn't do it outside. I don't understand, dude. I don't get it. Like, look at that. It's literally saying my club's coming down like fucking... Because look at that slice. Now, I am coming over the top. I get it. But, like, this is fucking outstanding. Like, when I see you guys as replay cams, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Because if I close my stance up a lot like this, I couldn't even get it to come into out there. So Foof, is knitting considered upholstery? So if you guys are watching this rear view camera here, we probably could move it over so we were directly behind the ball. I don't know. I was hoping Crushing It would chime in. Crushing It, are you running a ProTee? You still in here, dude? All right, guys, this has probably gone on entirely too long. Same grip, same stance, tilt the spine. That one went pretty straight. Oh, Crushing It's running a square. So guys, that was a good one. It went 300. Knitting is for upholstery, yeah. Upholstery. Yeah, guys, I don't know. We're zoomed in now. We'll keep working on it. You can see that one. That one had a 2500 backspin, almost no side spin, and it's still saying I was 10 degrees over the top. That's not taking anything into account for face to target, face to path, because that changes the geometry of the shot, but you can see this is just like, it's like a fucking, it's like every time I tee off, it's like fucking rolling the dice, so. Well, dude, I'm just knitting doilies right now. And maybe a scarf. And I want to start knitting head covers for these woods. Well, hey, while I got a captive audience, let's go check this video out. What do we got here? Some outdoor footage. So here's Remuda. Okay, you can hit now. So here's me on the first tee. Straight down the fairway. That's a par 3. You guys, I don't bullshit on my shot tracers either. Watch this shot. It was like 280, 285 straight down the fairway. This is like a 2-iron shot, which really doesn't count. Let's go to another tee here. This was my longest drive of the day. You could see it was a baby fade. That went 300 yards. Fucking 300-yard baby fade. I'm at 4,400 feet of elevation though. Guys, I honestly don't get it. Like, I'm not doing anything different than I do outside. Started to the left, came back into the fairway. Lovely 300-yard shot. I don't know. But I'll line one up in here. See, that was the same path. That looks like that last shot I just showed you. But I'll line one up in here. Same exact thing I do outside. I have a very specific pre-shot routine. Tilt the spine. That was just a bad shot. That don't count. That's sort of the same shot shape, but that felt heely. Heely. So if I hit it heely, it goes pretty good, but we lose a lot of distance. Let's try to get one off the face here. That was high off the face. So these are starting to look like they do outside, sort of, kind of. I'm beating a dead horse at this point, but that was high off the face. So apparently if I swing really goddamn hard, it fixes everything. Let's square up the stance. That was just a trash shot. All right, I don't really want to get into like swing speed training here. Let's try to get one off the face. Same stance I would have in real life here. Yeah, look at that thing. I don't get it, guys. All right, I got to change my wife's oil. Crushing It says he always feels like he's rolling the dice when he's driving. Amen, brother. Amen, brother. Yeah, I'm not going to give myself a hernia. If that was going to happen, it would have happened when I first started golfing and was hitting like 600 balls a day like a dumb shit. I really, I don't know. I'm losing like 20 or 30 yards of distance between the ping and the Persimmon. Right? I think driver technology has come a long way as compared to like the irons. And it's hard to put this club in play because I'm losing distance off the tee, and I know that that's going to add strokes to my scorecard. But I'm one of those guys that's like sunk cost fallacy, like I bought this club, I need to use it. If you catch my drift and you know what sunk cost fallacy is, Well, I spent the money, I gotta use the club. Anyway, see you, Steve. Guys, thanks for holding on for dear life here. This fucking shit has gone 2.5 hours. We'll see you guys later. I got to change my wife's oil, and then I might be back on for more golf. I might not. As usual, this has been a Turbo Talon Golf production, and we'll see you guys in the next live stream. Have a lovely weekend. Don't get too drunk tonight. See you guys later.